So then what will happen? LinkedIn algorithm will fetch all the LinkedIn profiles that refer to either bioinformatics or computational biology. So this way, you are not going to miss out any important profiles. Now, sometimes you might want to connect with someone who are associated with bioinformatics or computational biology, and they also have a Python programming skill. So this is very important for you. And using Boolean search operation, what you can do is you can use OR operator and AND operator. So as you see here, you can enter bioinformatics or computational biology and embrace that within a bracket and then use AND Python. So what will happen? The LinkedIn algorithm will understand this as you are looking for a LinkedIn profile which is associated with bioinformatics or computational biology, and they should also have the Python programming skill. Now, if you want to add another option, you can still add that. You can make the search more and more selective here. Now you can, instead of the subject area, you can also search for particular title and institutional affiliations here. For example, if you want to look for assistant professors associated with bioinformatics or assistant professors affiliated with a particular institute, you can use these Boolean operators. Now, instead of searching inside the LinkedIn, you can also use Google to search. For example, here, using this particular keyword, you can search, you can enter it into the Google, and the Google will search inside the LinkedIn and will fetch you profiles. So the advantage is that sometimes when you search inside the LinkedIn, the number of search results will be limited. But when you search it through Google, the number of search hits that Google bring will be much more than when you search it through LinkedIn. Now, yes. Now, you can also use LinkedIn to showcase your research output and academic outreach efforts. So as a researcher, basically you can show who you are professionally, what you do, and what you have done, and what your affiliations are, like your affiliated institutions and organizations, what you care about, what you focus on or what you specialize on, and where you want to be, like your future goals, and what you want to do in future, and what exactly are you looking for on LinkedIn. All this information you can include in your LinkedIn profile. Now, you can showcase your published articles, your review articles, your book chapters, your protocols, your code, etc. on LinkedIn. You can also showcase the conference, webinar that you have presented, and workshops that you have attended, and also the invited talks, the lectures that you have provided. All these academic output and your outreach efforts you can showcase on LinkedIn. Now, look at this. So when you showcase your academic output on LinkedIn, it benefits you a lot. For example, unlike the other research repositories like Google Scholar or ResearchGate, where most of the account holders are researchers, but on LinkedIn, you can find people outside of academia. For example, you can find policymakers, you can find funders, you can find journalists, etc. So it's when you upload or when you showcase your academic output through a LinkedIn post, it's more likely that people outside of the academia likely to see it and you gain more popularity. And also, it can also help you enhance your citations. For example, when you upload or when you create a post about your publication, it's more likely that people from your research area will see that post, read about it, and cite that work. And also they can react to it so that people who are connected with those people will get to see it, and that can boost the citations. Now, this can open collaborative opportunities. For example, if you created a post about a recent publication, and people or experts in your field will likely see that post, and they will read that paper, and they will have the skill set or complementary expertise, and they might want to work with you. So you can connect with those people, and this can give you more future opportunities to work in related areas. And you can also attract career opportunities. So when you create a post about your recent paper, people who are part of that community will be able to see your work. And if you have got a set of skills that you have utilized for accomplishing that particular work, it is more likely that employers and recruiters will want to work with you and will want to hire you to their companies. And another important aspect of making your research output popular through LinkedIn is that it can make the science more accessible. Because when you create a post on LinkedIn popularizing your research output, you will be writing a small summary in plain English. So what can happen is that when you write in plain English, you will be writing the value of that research in plain English, in layman's terms. So people who are not part of the academia, or people who do not read academic papers, will be able to understand the value of that your research. And this can again gain you more popularity. And also you will be basically bridging the gap between that research and that application of your research. Let us look at a small example here. Here is a demonstrative example of a LinkedIn post where a researcher has Hello?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible.
Okay. So here it's a demonstrative example. Here you can see that the researcher, he has written a post about his recent publication. Now let us look at the structure of this post here. So the very first here, you can see this is basically a hook or a headline. So here actually it says new publication alert. So this basically grabs the attention of a LinkedIn user. So someone who actually happens to end up reading this post won't go past this post without reading it, because you already have got emojis and a beautiful title here, new publication alert. Next, you have got a small introduction. So here basically the researcher says what this post is about. So the researcher says, I am delighted to share our latest research paper and the title of the research work and the publisher who published the paper here in the first block of paragraph. Next, here actually he gives a small summary of the research work he has done. So here he writes in plain English like what exactly the research work is. So here people wants to read what this research work in a single brief sentence. In the other block of paragraph or a sentence, the researcher says he thanks the co-authors and the funders. Now here is the click. Has provided a small image of that title and the authors here. So this is actually the way you can create an academic post when you want to share your academic output. Now, it is not just when you get a paper or a review article you should make a post. Even when you have attended a conference or a workshop or a seminar, you can still make a LinkedIn post so that you can gain engagement. So for example, these are 3 different styles of presenting or making a post about your academic engagement. For example, in the first post here, the scientist says that he is heading up to Toronto today for participating in a conference. So this scientist, actually he hasn't participated in the conference. He is on the way to participate. See, here actually he shares the excitement of participating in a conference. Who want to participate in the same conference can sign up on that or register for that seminar or webinar, whatever. Also, he wants to let the community know that he will be attending a conference at a particular place. So people who want to meet will be able to meet him at that place. In the second post here another researcher actually shares his victory after winning the Best Poster award. So see, when you win something, when you have won something, you can still make a post about that. So here he uses some really emotional keyword like I am super happy to have won Best Poster presentation at some conference or so. And actually he also gives a small experience of attending it in a very emotional language. The third one here the scientist actually, he has returned from a conference and he goes on explaining the details of the webinar he participated here. So this also shows that you are an expert in a field, and also this also gives a chance to the audience to read in detail about the work that he presented there. So these are the three different styles you can use to create a post when you want to create a post about your academic output or your outreach effort. Now, in addition to showcasing your academic output, you can also showcase your skills and expertise. So I told you that employers and recruiters are constantly looking for LinkedIn profiles and candidates that are suitable for their research work or an industry role, etc. So if in your LinkedIn profile you have included special words that are associated with or that are connected with the job description posted by the employers and recruiters, you are more likely to get that job. And also, we call these special words as keywords. So when you include special keywords associated with a set of skills, it is also quite probable that when a recruiter or an employer search on Google, your profile will be at the top of the hit. So when you create a LinkedIn profile, you should include keywords that are associated with your niche specific technical skills. So niche specific technical skills are certain set of skills that are associated with a particular subject domain. And you can also include keywords associated with some interpersonal skills. So if you have got a broad repertoire of interpersonal skills, that shows that the person is really competent to work with people in an industry or in an academic setting, in a research setting. Or if you have got computational skills, you can still include keywords associated with computational skills that can show that the person has digital skill or he has IT skills. Because nowadays, actually, people hardly use pen and paper. People use computers for entering data, work with data, process data, and retrieve data. So if you know how to use computers, then you will stand out. And proficiency in certain tools. If you know how to use a software, if you know how to use a equipment, then you can include keywords associated with those skills. And industry knowledge. If you know how skills that are relevant to industry, then you can include that also. In LinkedIn, you can see here, these are some niche specific skills that you can add. And when you click this plus button, you will get a box here where you can enter the name of the skill here. And here you can see a few examples of niche specific skills. You can see some examples of interpersonal skills, and you can see some basic computational computer skills that you can include in your LinkedIn profile. Now, let us look at how we can create a LinkedIn profile and what is exactly the layout of a LinkedIn profile. So when you create a LinkedIn profile, basically the very first thing that people would notice are the profile picture and a banner image. So a profile picture is very important because that is the photo of your LinkedIn profile. The profile picture should be very neat, very simple, very clean, and very professional. And a banner image is a visual cue, or it's a visual representation of what you are professionally. Now, the very important things that I would like to speak are a professional headline and a summary or about section or a bio section on your LinkedIn profile. Apart from that, you should have an experience section. On the experience section, basically you should write about your current affiliation or your past affiliation and the key responsibilities that you carried out while working there and the key skill set that you used while working there, and your education section. It should be in the chronological order. These are the academic institution that you were part of, where you obtained your degree from, and the specific project that you carried out there and the skill set that you used there. For example, if you're a PhD graduate, you can mention the PhD topic and the key responsibilities that you carried out and the skill set that you have. And you can also show your skill set and certifications there. Now, a professional headline is a very important part of your LinkedIn profile. This is actually a mini resume of your profile because here you should mention who you are professionally, what your skills or expertise are and where you have applied these skills or areas you focus and what you aspire for. So a typical professional headline can be broken down into these four parts. Actually, these are not mandatory, but if you can break down your professional headline into these four segments, then that can attract more recruiters. So who you are professionally. So basically, this shows your academic your academic impact or your academic your contribution. So the skill set are the set of skills that you have used and where you have applied these skills, because these are the areas that you have applied these skills or a particular project that you have accomplished using the skill set. And what you aspire for, basically this shows the future plans or future goals that you have. Let us look at a few examples here. See here, this is actually the person saying that he is a PhD graduate in bioinformatics. So this shows who you are professionally. Then you can say like a particular project that you have accomplished. So he has led first Borasus flubberly for genome assembly. That is a particular project or a research task that he has accomplished. Then you can use a separator if a vertical, a vertical tab you can use here, and then you can mention the skill set that you used for performing this particular job here. So genome assembly, comparative genomics, NGS pipelines, HPC. These are the skill set that he has got so that he could accomplish this particular project. In another example, again, he has said he's a research associate and he cares about cancer genomics and bioinformatics, and he has got research ops and data management lead and mentorship and collaboration builder. So these are areas that he has expertise in. Another one, research scientist, that is actually what he is professionally. Then he cares and he has got neuroscience and neuroimmunology expertise, and he cares about cross-functional collaborator and science communicator, avid skier. This is actually the hobby that he has. So this is the way you can structure your professional headline so that a recruiter who opens your profile can easily find out whether you are a best fit for the job or not. Now, this is the professional headline. Now, coming to the summary or about section. So the best way you can craft a bio section. So why you want a bio section? First of all, here basically you provide a descriptive account of what you are who you are professionally, and the projects that you have completed, your skill set, and the future goals that you have, and why you have created a profile on LinkedIn. So you can break that down into 3 blocks of paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you can write about who you are professionally and what your professional or academic affiliations are, because that is very important. Which institution or organization you are part of is very important. Then what you care about, that is your specialization. In the second paragraph, you can write about your skill set, what skills you have got, or what skills you have acquired from the start of the program. Then the projects that you have accomplished and the problems that you have solved using those skill set that you can mention in the second paragraph. In the third paragraph, you can provide details about the future goals that you have got and how these goals are going to help you, and what are the impacts of these goals, and what contributions these goals are going to give. And now you can also mention why you are looking for connections and who should connect with you, so that you will be able to attract the right people to connect with you. So this is actually very important. When you plan to create a LinkedIn profile, keep in mind that you can structure your bio or about section in this particular structure. Now, this is an example of a bio here. So here, the person actually has written one paragraph about who I am. So this actually tells the who he is professionally, and his academic affiliation, and then his expertise here. What I am interested in here, actually, he has provided the skill set that he has and the expertise that he has, and the projects that he have completed using those skill set. And in the third paragraph, he has included like what he is looking forward to. Are you able to see it? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, we are able to.
Are you able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, sure.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, so this way here what I do here, he has included the future career goals that he has got and what he is looking forward to, so that people who want to collaborate with him can read about his work and they can plan projects together. This is another example where he has broken down his bio into 4 sections, and finally he has also provided some credentials so that people can personally interact with him and plan for future works. Yeah. Now, on LinkedIn, connections matter. So the most important thing that you should consider is that do not make any random connection on LinkedIn. That is quite bad. When you make connection with someone on LinkedIn, it should be valuable and you should have a clear reason why you want to connect with someone on LinkedIn. So the rule of thumb is that there's 6 different types of people you can connect with. First one, the potential connection that you want to connect with can be an alumni of your institute. So someone who went to the same institution as you had your degree from, or someone you went to the university together with. Okay. So second, it can be someone who is a colleague or a co-worker, because if you are a part of a company, if your colleague is also part of the company, you can connect with him. Or you are in an academic institution where you are learning a degree, and you can connect. If your colleague also has a LinkedIn profile, you can connect with him. Also, you can find out your potential principal investigator or a researcher, a PhD scholar or a postdoc there on LinkedIn, and you can connect with him. For example, you are interested in plant genomics, and you saw that there are PhD scholars, there are postdocs, and there are scientists who currently work in plant genomics. So if you can connect with such people, then in future, if they have research opportunities, you can talk with them. You can ask if your skill set align with their requirements, so you can get the job. And you can also connect with someone who has got a particular skill. For example, you want to learn Python programming or R programming, and you saw that a person in LinkedIn has got expertise in Python, then or R programming. So you can connect with him. You can let him know that you are looking for a mentor or an expert who has got expertise in Python programming. So you want to connect with him. So there is a clear reason, and it's more likely that the other person would accept your connection request. And a potential collaborator you want to work with. You saw that someone is working on the whole genome of a particular plant, and you have got a skill set. You have got some statistical skill, or you have got a programming skill, or you have got some knowledge in certain pipeline. So you can let them know that you have so and so skills, and you want to collaborate to the project. So if the other person actually is looking for an expertise, it's more likely that they would like to connect with you. And a hiring manager or a recruiter of a company, if they see, if you want to work in a particular company, you can connect with those people. So you can get to know about the company, and in future, if it is possible, you can ask the recruiter or the hiring manager that you have got so and so skill, and if you could work with them, so you can get more opportunities. Now, so these are the rule of thumb when you want to connect with someone. So when you want to connect with someone, you can simply click the connect button. Actually, pressing the connect button is still better than sending a wrong connection note. Okay, but it is very important that when you send a connection request to someone, you personalize it and you include a connection note here. So when you send a connection note, always make it personalized. So how do you make it personalized? So the connection note should have the first part addressing the person by their first name. Second, we should mention any detail about the potential connection, because if you want to connect with a PI, always mention that I saw you are a scientist working in this particular field, or I saw that you are a person who has got this many experience in a particular field. Then you can write about you, like you can write about yourself, what skill set you have got, okay, or what is your affiliation. Finally, you can mention why you want to connect. For example, I have given a template here. Hello, first name, you can include that. Then you can write like, I saw you are a so and so at particular institute. I am a so and so. I am a PhD scholar or postdoc at a particular institution. Or you can also write, I am a PhD scholar with this many number of experience in a particular area of activity. Then you can write why you want to connect with someone. So you can keep your connection request like this, and you can send a connection request to someone. So it's more guaranteed that your connection request will be accepted. So now that's all about the LinkedIn I want to talk about. Now let us move on to the ResearchGate. So now ResearchGate is a social networking platform for scientists mainly and researchers. So just like LinkedIn, in ResearchGate, basically you can share your academic works. For example, on ResearchGate platform, you can give details about the publications that you have, the conference papers that you have presented, your thesis, your preprints, your presentations, etc. And also on ResearchGate, you can view others' research. You can read the abstract or summary of others' research, and you can also read the full paper, and even you can download publications if they have uploaded their full paper. And apart from that, you can also ask questions. If you are stuck in your research, you can ask questions, and ResearchGate has several billions of users who are experts in different and vast areas of research. And if you have got questions, you can post your question, and it's more likely that experts would see that question and give answers to your question. And you can seek collaboration. When you upload your work, and if researchers happen to read your work, they can reach out to you asking for collaboration. Now, so just like the LinkedIn, you have got a profile section on ResearchGate also. On the ResearchGate, you can see you will have a profile picture here. Then you will have your degree and your academic designation and your current affiliation here. Apart from that, you will also have 3 metrics here that show the impact and usefulness of your research. So for example, here you can see the research interest score and the citations, the H index. So ResearchGate calculates the research interest score, citation, and H index of researchers or academicians who make profile on ResearchGate here. And also, you can also include the degree that you are in pursuit of, and also the current activity, where you can mention, like if you are looking for a job, or if you are looking to hire someone to your team, you can mention that here on the dashboard here. Now, as you see here, unlike LinkedIn, the ResearchGate calculates 3 metrics that show how successful you are in your research career here. So the first one is research interest score. Now another one is the citation here and the H index. So what is the citation here? So citation basically shows that how frequently or how many times other research scholars or researchers are referencing your work in their research work. Okay, so for example, if you are a researcher and you have done some work, if another researcher saw that your work is quite impactful, so they will write in their research paper that this work was done by so and so. So when they do that, you will get 1 citation. So citation is an other level metric that shows that how impactful and how useful your research is. Now, that's about citation. Also H index. H index basically that has 2 goals that shows how impactful your research is, and at the same time, the H index also shows that how consistent you are as a researcher or how consistently you publish. For example, if you have got a H index of 16, that shows that you have 16 publications that are at least 16 times cited. So when you have a high H index number, that shows that you are a consistent publisher, and also your researchers are actually high impactful. So in ResearchGate, ResearchGate can help you boost your citations and H index. How? Because on ResearchGate, basically you can add your research work to your profile. So here on ResearchGate, you can, if you have got a publication, you can add an abstract of that publication, or you can upload the full paper of the publication. So that way, the research paper would come to your profile, and people who come to your profile will be able to read that the research work. And you can create a spotlight here. So in Spotlight, you will be given an opportunity to choose 1 single high impact paper of yours, so that ResearchGate will boost that publication for 30 days. So it's highly likely that other researchers from your research area will be able to see that work, read that work. If it is impactful, they will be able to cite that work. So that way you can get your citations and H-index improved. So the third chance is that you can feature your research. So in featured research, the LinkedIn gives an opportunity to pin 5 important research works so that these 5 research papers will come at the top of your ResearchGate profile. So whenever someone opens your ResearchGate profile, they will be able to see this research work and they will be able to read the paper. If you have included the full paper, they will be able to download it and cite the paper. Now, so few publication statistics that ResearchGate provides. So that includes, so the publication statistics basically shows how successful you are in your research. So the first one is research interest score. So the research interest score basically tells you the amount of attention that your research materials are gaining. So your research materials are your publication, the number of questions that you have asked, the number of answers that you have provided, the number of recommendations that you have got, and the total reads, which shows how many people have read your paper or how many people have downloaded your paper. Total citations, that shows how many researchers they have included your work in their work. Total recommendations, if your paper is impactful, if your questions are insightful, if your answers are expertise level, then people would recommend those research items so that other people can refer to that. Now, so here is a breakdown of your research interest score. So research interest score basically shows the amount of attention that your research items are getting. So the research items are, again, if they are your research papers, then the questions that you have posted, then the answers you have provided, etc. And the attention can be whether you have got a citation, whether you have got a recommendation, whether someone has read the full paper, whether someone has read the summary of your paper. So each item or each attention has its own weightage. So for example, when someone cites your paper, you will get a cite, that particular activity or attention has a weightage of 0.5. Or when someone recommends your paper or your question or an answer, then the weightage is 0.25. When someone reads the full paper, the weightage is 0.15. When they just read the abstract, the weightage is 0.05. Which means when 10 people read the summary of your work, that is equivalent to someone citing your paper, because the citation has a high weightage value. So the more citations you are getting in your paper, correspondingly your research interest score will also increase. So if your research interest score is really higher, that shows that you are doing a very good research and your research is highly impactful. Now, another important thing that we should consider is, already I have told you that on ResearchGate you can upload your paper. Now, can you upload a full research article on ResearchGate? Now, here you have to understand what type of research articles you can upload on the ResearchGate. So here, not every article can be uploaded on the ResearchGate. If the article was published under open access method, then you can upload that paper on ResearchGate, because ResearchGate is a commercial site. And also, if the paper was published under open access mode, and if the publication has Creative Commons license, then that means you can freely upload the paper on any website and you can download the full paper. This is a license that the publisher gives you so that other people can download your paper and access them. So whenever you open a research article, you should see whether this is an open access paper and have got the Creative Commons license or not. For example, this is an example of a Elsevier journal. Here you can see that the publisher, they are the owners of the copyright here. Okay, so when the publishers are the owners of copyright, then if you upload the full paper on ResearchGate, then you are breaching the rule here. Okay, now this is a paper published by the MTPI publishers. So here you can read that here they have mentioned that the paper was published under the Creative Commons attribution here, CC BY, which means this has got the Creative Commons license so that you can upload the full paper and you can download the full paper. So you are the owner of the copyright. So whenever you want to upload a paper, you have to check whether the copyright is held with the publisher or the copyright is held with you as a researcher or not. Now let us move on to the ORC ID or ORCID. Okay, so what is you can call it either ORC ID or you can call it ORCID here. So ORCID stands for Open Researcher and Contributor ID. So what exactly is an ORCID? This is actually a unique identifier given to researcher. So just like we can call it as a researcher's or a scientist's Aadhaar number, because this is actually a 16-digit number that is unique and that is given to a researcher. Now, so where does it help? Imagine in India, a scientist whose name is Rajesh Kumar. You can see that that name is very common. So you might find 500 plus researchers named Rajesh Kumar. Now, when a particular database is trying to crawl information from the public domains and create a profile and sort out all the publications published by a particular researcher, and if the researcher has got a name which is common across the country, then it is likely that these publications will get split up across multiple profiles. If your name is Rajesh Kumar, sometimes it can happen that your publication will end up in someone else's profile, or someone else's work will end up in your profile. So here, what will happen is that it can impact your academic dignity, or it can impact the publication metric of yours. And imagine another scenario where you are a scientist in a particular institution or an academic environment where, for example, a university, where the university asks you to provide the full list of publications that you have, or the full list of research grants that you have, and every time you will have to sit down and enter the complete list of publications that you have, or all the research grants that you have got. So it is a tedious task. It is not possible to enter all the information by yourself every time. Or imagine a scenario where someone gets credit for your work because a database was trying to crawl publication list of a researcher, so mistakenly it crawled someone else's publication, and those publications ended up in your profile. And if those publications are of not good quality, then it can affect your dignity. So, and in another scenario, this can totally affect your publication metrics. So these are different challenges that often researchers face. So in spite of all these challenges, here the ORCID ID, in your ORCID ID profile, you can list out the unique and the authentic list of all your publications and your complete research experience and your academic background and everything, so that someone who has your ORCID ID will be able to get the complete authentic details about your academic and your research career. Now, here in a ORCID profile, you can enter your full name of the author, and you can provide the complete list of your authentic academic affiliations. You can provide your academic email ID. You can provide the complete list of your publication, your funding information, and your peer review records. So full name, basically, it's the full name that you provide while entering your name on a database or a publication portal. Academic affiliation can be the list of institutions that you worked with, and the email ID, the official email ID that you use when you enter information on a database or a publication portal. And the publication list are the entire publications that you have you published during your academic life. And the funding information are the number of publications, the number of funding that you have got from different funding agencies. Peer review records are the number of papers that you have reviewed for different journals. So when you have entered all this information on your ORCID profile, whenever a database or a university asks for this list of information, you can just provide your ORCID ID. So people who have your ORCID ID can get the authentic list of all this information without any mistake. Now, the ORCID ID is integrated with many systems. For example, your ORCID ID is integrated with different manuscript submission portals. For example, Elsevier, Springer, Willy, PLOS, MDPI. These are different journals. These are different publishers who use your ORCID ID, or your ORCID ID is integrated with these publication portals. So integration basically means that it's a two-way bridge, which means these publishers can access information through your ORCID ID, and they can also push information to the ORCID ID, so that every time when you give your ORCID ID to someone, they will get the authentic list of publications that you have published. And when you apply for grant, because if you want to do research, you need money. So definitely you will apply for different research grant. So in India, we have got DST, Department of Science and Technology, and you have got DBT, Department of Biotechnology. You have got in Britain, you have
Hello.
We are not able to hear.
There is a technical issue. Resource person will join.
hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
now.
sir.
For inconvenience, actually, there was a small internet outage. Yeah. Okay, so we have been talking about the grant application systems. So whenever you apply for a grant, then you will have to provide the ORCID ID, because otherwise the publication agencies or publication systems, they can ask you for the list of publications that you have published and the previous funding and your research records. So if you manually enter all the publications and all the research experience that you have, this might take several days. So that's a total waste of money and energy. Sorry, that is a total waste of your time and energy. So when you have all the information listed out in your ORCID profile, then it's easier for the grant application systems to access those information, and without any ambiguity, they can fill in all the authentic information on the grant application system. Now, on the preprint servers also, you can provide your ORCID ID. Now, many indexing databases like Scopus, Web of Science, PubMed, they can get the authentic information about a researcher or an author through ORCID ID. So whenever you publish a paper by going to the publication portal, you can register through your ORCID ID. You can use your ORCID ID to register, so that the portal will automatically fill in all the information without any error. Now, when the paper gets published, the publisher will push all this information to these indexing websites. So like Scopus, Cross-Reference, Web of Science, etc. So that these indexing databases will get the authentic details about an author. So that what will happen is that the entire authentic publication details will be listed under the author without any error. So if you don't provide your ORCID ID, the publications can split up across multiple profiles. So whenever someone goes to your profile on Scopus or Web of Science, if you have not provided your ORCID ID, the citations that is being shown there cannot be or won't be accurate. But if you have provided your ORCID ID, the number of publications that the indexing database has listed out under your profile will be authentic. So the citation value will also be authentic. So that way your academic dignity won't be affected here. So these are the ways many systems have integrated the ORCID ID. Now let us see how to create an ORCID ID. So first of all, what you have to do is you will have to visit the website orchid.org website here. Once you are in the website, you will have to click this sign in on or register button here, link here, and this way you can register on the ORCID website for an ORCID ID here. So you'll have to enter your full name here, and your first name and your family name here. Then you will have to enter the primary email address. So in addition to your primary email address, you will also have to provide an additional email address here, and then a password you have to provide. After entering the password, you will have to provide the employment details, which should include the current organization you are affiliated with, and the department where you work, and the title, the job title, your job title, and the timeline of your work. Like when did you start your work? You have to provide the year and month information on the portal here. Now after that, you can set the visibility setting, like who can access your ORCID ID. So that your full name, your email ID, your academic experience, the list of publications that you have, and your peer review details, etc. So that is how we create the registration for an ORCID ID. So this way, actually, I have completed the overview on these three networking sites that researchers can use to network across academia, and that way they can disseminate their knowledge and contribution across various academic disciplines and boost up their academic career. And thank you. If you have got any questions, ask.
Thank you, Vijithkumar sir, for joining us today. Thank you, sir, for explaining about some topics like academic profile setup and ORCID identity and publication ranking. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
So
And
anyone has got any
enrichment.
question, they can ask. Or if anyone needs setting up any LinkedIn profile, I can help.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Myself, Dr. Naresh.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sir, I request, sir, provide any like publication links for the group so we are able to send the documents to them. Any publication opportunities?
Okay. So, what's your academic field, sir? Your expertise? Like,
Belongs to MBA, sir, management.
okay, okay, sure.
I'm from Symbiosis International University.
Okay, okay,
Sir.
sir.
So I suggest if you send some of the links also, then it will benefit to the participants so they are able to send the papers to them for publication for the research
Okay,
side.
okay.
This is more of a small request, so that's it. And thank you so much. It was a very nice session, and we are able to understand so many things regarding the research.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I had to explain it a bit faster because of the time constraint. Otherwise, there are lot to learn on these platforms. That way you can they can this can help you advance your research.
Yeah, yes, sir, exactly. Because
Yeah.
I have my own PhD students, so I'm able to share the link also. But due to their schedule, they are not able to attend for that one.
Okay.
And also, I request to please share the this PPT also, sir. If it is
Yeah,
going to
I
benefit
think
for all people.
yes, I think the authority will be sharing the resources actually.
Yeah, that can be useful for all people.
Yeah,
Sir,
definitely, definitely.
sir, PPT in the YouTube description, sir. You check it in YouTube, sir. Okay. Hello.
PT,
Hello, sir. Yeah.
I am not finding any PPT here.
YouTube description, sir. Please check it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I actually I have handed over the PPT to the authority, so those who are in need of these details can access that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Any have questions? Thank you, Vijithkumar sir, for insightful and enriching session. Thank you for
Okay.
joining us today.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity to all the authorities who gave me this opportunity, and I look forward to giving any help and support in relation with the topic I presented here. And I thank you all for attending the session and giving me valuable feedback.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you once again, sir.
Okay, thank you.
We also thank all participants for joining us today. Before we conclude, we would like to thank our sponsor, JVK Technologies. JVK Technologies offers a publication services, including Scopus, SCA, patents, copyrights, thesis, and textbooks. For any publication assistance, you are warmly invited to their joint WhatsApp group, link in the chat box as well as comment section. Please fill the feedback form for the certificates. Those who fill the feedback only will get the certificates. Those who fill the feedback form can leave the meeting. Please fill the feedback form for the certificates. Those who fill the feedback only will get the certificates.
Sure, ma'am.
Those who fill the feedback form can leave the meeting. Before we conclude, we would like to thank our sponsor, JVK Technologies. JVK Technologies offers a publication services, including Scopus, SCA, patents, copyrights, thesis, and textbooks, etc. For any publication assistance, you are warmly invited to their WhatsApp group, link in the chat box as well as comment section. Participants, please fill the feedback form for the certificates. Those who fill the feedback only will get the certificates. Those who fill the feedback form can leave the meeting.